Right, we're recording.
Okay, thanks, Vicky. And again, morning, everyone. Welcome to the Executive Cabinet Member of Children's Services portfolio. First item on the agenda, monitoring of Executive Cabinet Member decisions. You've had a report. Any questions, comments, queries? Very well, we note this report. Item number 2 is the Strategic Budget Report, Children's Services Department. You've had an enclosure, and I believe Lisa's going to take us through this. Lisa?
Thank you very much, Chair. So the report in front of you shows the Strategic Budget Report for Children's from 26 to 27. What we would like you to note is the proposed revenue budget of £109 million, capital programme of 23.8. We have some savings and efficiencies that need noting and approving, and then the delegations for the Director of Children's Services to go off contract for social care if needed, and go to the procurement team for any capital programs that we need to do. If I just take you forward into the report, you'll see in table 1 in 2.5 that the children's local authority block goes up from 74.8 million to 109 million. And I'd just like to remind members that we went through the further funding during this financial year, and a lot of our grants were rolled up into the local authority block. So that's one of the reasons for a big jump. And also we received £11 million for demand monies for the department. If I just take you through to section 3.6, there was a 2-year programme for savings and efficiencies, which was declared in 25. And this is just finishing off the final elements of that. So there's 150,000, which we found by looking at inflationary budgets, etc. And I'm quite happy, Chair, to take any questions or comments.
Members, any questions, comments or queries on this report? No? Very well, I approve the recommendations as laid out in the preamble on the first page of this report. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chair.
Item number 3 is the proposed schools building maintenance programme, and I think Geraldine's going to take us through this. Geraldine?
Sorry, Chair, it's me. Is this one?
Right, I just haven't got you on the list. Sorry, Paul, not overlooking you.
No.
Okay.
Yes, so this is the annual report that we bring forward to set out building maintenance requirements for our community schools. So we are still awaiting the announcement from central government on exactly how much funding that we are going to get this next year. But because of our approval processes, we need to line up the schemes and get the approval subject to the funding arriving. And generally speaking, we have an idea of how much we're going to get based on previous years. So the report details some schemes at West Orton High, Blackshaw, Gilno, Church Road and Mytham. Subject to approval, we'll be taking those forward and working on most of those outside of the normal school term period in school holidays. Happy to take any questions.
Members, any comments, questions, queries on this report? No, very well. I approve the recommendations as laid out in the preamble. Item 4 is the this is you, Geraldine. Sorry, the
it definitely is.
Reconstitution of. Sorry, I beg your pardon.
Okay, Mytham Primary School, Chair.
Yes, this is Mytham Primary School, reconstitution of the governing board.
Thank you, Chair. Morning, councillors. This is the request to reconstitute the governing body of Mytham Primary School to bring them in line with most other primary schools. They have got quite a large governing body and have been carrying a number of vacancies for some time. So the request is to reconstitute the governing body from 12 to 10 governors. Happy to take any questions or comments on that one.
Members, have you any questions or comments on this proposition? No? Very well, I approve the recommendations and approve option 1 as laid out in the preamble to the report. Thank you. Item 5 is the procurement of the 40 new welfare buses and 4 trailers. And again, you've had an enclosure. Paul, you're taking this, are you?
Yes, thank you, Chair. So the report sets out the details of a plan over the next 4 years or so to reprocure our buses in the integrated transport unit that provides transport to children getting to school with additional needs, but also during the day, they also provide transport to our adults daycare. There's a number of minibuses that we have supporting our residential homes that we run for children with disabilities, short break care, and there's a number of buses that we have within the youth service that support the HAF programme and deliver the operational service. Basically, if we don't replace those, we're going to end up in a position where, in totality, we're going to end up in a position where we can't deliver statutory services or having to pay a lot more money through hire arrangements. The money is being funded from the corporate centre and comes to approximately 3.8 million over the 4 years. Happy to take any questions on any of the details in the report.
Members, have you any questions? Comments? No. Very well. I approve the recommendations as laid out again in the preamble to this report. Thank you. Item 6 is the proposed temporary bulge year expansion at Runworth Special School. And I'm not sure, are you taking this, Paul, or is it Geraldine?
Yeah, it's me again. Thank you, Chair. So this sets out a proposal to add in a temporary modular unit on the Runworth site to create an additional 16 places for September 26 to the tune of approximately £800,000. And as members will be aware, the reasons why we're adding in additional capacity at our special schools is to stop children ending up being transported out to provision outside of Bolton at much increased cost, not only around the transport, but around the education provision as well. Now, this is a modular unit that's going on site and is a small addition to the school that's already been expanded quite significantly over the last few years. Happy to take any questions on the detail.
Councillor Galloway.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Paul. I think it's very welcome news about the expansion of Runworth School, but it's not great news for my residents because the parking issues are really poor. I've written to the head over a month ago about one particular car that is very badly parked and causing my residents a huge amount of problems, and I've not had any response.
Okay, if I can come back, Chair, if I can pick that up with you, Councillor Galloway, outside of the meeting, and we'll do some following up with the head teacher. And I know Highways are working on some options around the estate as well, so we can do some following up on that if that's okay.
Okay, I welcome if you could get back to me as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thanks for that, Paul, and thank you, Anne, for that question. Any further comments or questions? Okay, I approve the recommendations once again as laid out in the preamble to this report. And our final item is proposed temporary bulge year expansion at Fairwood Special School. And I think Paul's taking this again.
Thank you, Chair. So very similar to the Runworth expansion, this is around us providing additional capacity at one of our special schools to stop us in a position where we're sending Bolton children a long distance outside of Bolton for their education at much increased cost. This is a temporary position for 30 places to come in from September 26, which will be under review for the next few years. Once the Fairwood sixth form is built on the next to the new Jubilee Centre, we think that we're not going to need this capacity in future. So it's only on a temporary basis. We're actually proposing that this capacity is created on the old Top of the Brow school site, which is off Greenroyd Avenue, which is currently not used at the moment. And some members will be aware that went through the charitable land panel last week and was approved for use as a temporary school site. Happy to take any questions on the report in detail.
Members, any questions or comments on this report? Yes, Councillor Sears.
Thank you, Chair. Just out of curiosity, are those places currently needed? Because I know that you've said that they're not going to necessarily be it's temporary, but given all the additional needs children with SEN, is it going to be, are all 30 places required? First question. And are we 100% certain that those places are not going to be required, say, in 4 or 5 years' time?
So a couple of questions there, if that's okay, if I can come back on that, Chair. So we're creating the capacity this year because the places are needed this year. We can't get away from that. If we didn't create the capacity, we would be sending those children out borough. So that's the first thing there. In terms of 5 years' time and where we are, obviously members will be aware that there's a lot of SEND legislation and policy changes that are coming out. And we are working through those, and Geraldine's leading on this for us. The details of that will become a lot clearer over the next few weeks and months in terms of what that means. We know that the demand in SEND is increasing, and we're working with all our settings to plan out what capacity we need where and how that's going to work for the next 5, 10 years and longer. So we will keep it under review. And we'll see where that leaves us. So we're not saying, the way we're thinking at the moment with projections, we don't need this site as it stands, but we will keep it under review.
Okay. Any further comments or questions, please? No. Very well. I approve the recommendations again as set out in the preamble to this report. And that concludes our business this morning. So to all officers, enjoy the rest of your day. To all councillors who should be out electioneering, you have absolutely no excuse a day like that. So get out and get those doors knocked in the sunshine and enjoy it while you're out there having your stroll along. Anne, did you want to come in for something?
I'm really, really sorry, Chair. I missed the beginning of the meeting because my connection, I've got full fibre now and my connection is rubbish. I should have kept with my old-fashioned copper. But I'm really, really sorry, and I'm sure you're all dying to get away. But could I revisit the budget and ask Lisa and Sandra just something about the budget, the strategic budget, because there is quite a major change. With the extra £30 million, it comes from grants. It just seemed quite vague. And I just wanted to know, is this one-off grants? I know the government has given, a lot of central, from central government, they've been giving grants. Is this the one-off grant that we're getting this year, or is it guaranteed to continue?
Yeah, absolutely, Chair. Am I okay to respond?
Yeah, absolutely, Lisa.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Chair.
No, it's actually I can answer this question, so I'm quite happy. During the financial year, we've had the thorough funding review, so it's been going on and had consultation, etc. And as part of the settlement this time, we have been given, or they've rolled up the grants into the revenue budget. So you'll see that the revenue for the children's department has gone up quite significantly. Now, the grants that have been rolled into that is ongoing and will be continuing. So it's part of our revenue now. So it's ongoing annual monies. Also in there, we've been given £11 million from corporate. So that's to help towards our overspend, etc., so that we can start working through, prevention works, all that kind of thing. And that's ongoing monies as well. So the monies that have been put forward are revenue, which is going to go forward for the next few years.
Okay, Madam.
Yeah, thank you. Is there a target? I mean, is this permanent money? Is this a permanent increase in our children's services budget? Or are we hoping that with our prevention strategies that the revenue will not be needed in future years?
So for the purposes of this report, it is an ongoing budget that we will be put forward. But if I bring people back to the February council report, there will be decisions coming forward in the future to how we manage the budget going forward. Sandra, do you want to take over?
Yes,
Yeah,
Sandra,
just
do you want to come in?
thank you, Councillor. So just to add to that, so some of the work we've done over the last year has brought Bolton in line with other local authorities in terms of demand, numbers of children, etc. So some of it is about rebalancing the budget. But you're right, the whole emphasis of government currently is that we move to prevention space and we move some of that monies out of that high needs, high cost into prevention. But I guess I would just have a note of caution that this is a long-term plan. And so whilst that is our aim and you'd want to see reductions in children's budgets, that's not going to be for the next few years as that kind of we rebalance the system.
Right. Oh, thank you. So we weren't aligned with GM, other GM authorities in terms of what numbers of lack and the amount of money that we put into children's social care. Okay. Thank you very much. Sorry,
Okay.
sorry, Chair.
No, it's fine, Anne.
Thank
No
you.
problem at all. Okay, so once again, everyone, enjoy the rest of your day and thank you for your attendance at this morning's meeting. Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
Chair. Take care.
Thank you.